Well, I guess we really don't want to, but we're going to have to talk about Forest. Welcome to Grumpy Old Reds. Or is it Sad Old Reds tonight? I don't know. I hope you guys are doing well. As always, you know the drill. Make sure you hit the like button. If you're new, subscribe. Check out the sponsors, OK Jersey. Code FFTV gets you 8% off. And yeah, thank you for tuning in. Who wants who wants the mic? Who wants the mic?
Oh God. Go on, Rob, you go.
Well.
Well, you got no one to control you.
Before you go, big up to Darren with the 20 months. Shout out to you, my guy, man.
Bless you,
top
man.
bloke, Darren is. And top bloke and blokettes. What's the female word for blokes?
There aren't any.
Blokettes.
Is blokettes a real word?
Ladettes.
No, but I like it.
I like it.
Ladettes.
Yeah.
I like it.
Lads
Blokes
and
and
ladettes.
blokettes. Shout out to all the blokes and blokettes in the chat. Larry, you're not welcome. You're in Turkey. Stay in Turkey. And big up as well to Sid. Happy 3-year anniversary, Sid, with his guitar. Big up to you. Go on then, blokette, Rob.
Hey.
Well, I was just saying to Ant, just before we came on, I said, look, we need to try and find a shred of positivity tonight. And what did you
as
say,
I replied to Rob, you can F off with that idea.
Yeah, so apologies in advance. Yeah, defeat's never nice, is it? I suppose if you compare it to the corresponding fixture last year, it wasn't quite as bad. Can't really think of anyone who had a good performance in that game.
Nico Williams.
Nico.
Yeah, well, I know. I just judge him by higher standards now, but I think it's difficult to disagree with the team setup, other than maybe the wingers. And I think we clearly set up to defend, and we did a lot of that in the first half. I actually saw a stat that we had one touch in the Bournemouth half in the first half. Is that actually true?
One touch in the box. One touch in the box.
Box,
Oh,
yeah.
right. I read one touch in the half. And the sad thing is I even believe that. So it was just like a complete onslaught from the first minute. And it just felt like they would run at us. And every time a challenge went in, they would kind of either skip over the challenge or the ball would just cannon off to some other player that would keep running at us. But I am going to say this, and this is not excuses. I'm always the first one to say where I think we've been a little bit lucky from VAR or refereeing decision. But that first goal was double bullshit, right? So clearly it was not a corner. The linesman flagged for a goal kick. The referee, who's looking at it through the players' backs, decides to overrule it without consulting VAR. And now we come to the whole question again. Oh, but VAR are only for certain things and only when he wants to ask them, and they don't speak unless they're spoken to because it undermines the authority of the referee on the pitch. Well, that undermined the authority of the referee on the pitch because it wasn't a corner. And then we go into the corner and straight away, Tyler Adams shoves Sells into the net. He puts both hands on him and shoves him into the net. So he ends up looking like Vlachodimos standing in the net. And the ball, clearly premeditated, sails in under the bar. So taking all things...
Rob, you're being
taking swings and roundabouts. Taking swings and roundabouts. There was an opportunity for the referee to disallow that goal and make good on the fact that he shouldn't have given the corner in the first place. VAR would have checked that goal and they would have said, well, he has shoved him. And the referee's like, no, nothing to see here, thanks. I'm the expert. So I'm sorry, but that was double bullshit, that goal. Now, they probably would have scored in the next 5 minutes anyway because they were absolutely unstoppable. But as you know, goals change games. In terms of the second half, we made 3 subs. I don't know why Douglas Luiz has come off. I assume that they're just wrapping him in cotton wool. Strangely, we seem to be a bit more solid in the second half, but I really suspect that's because Bournemouth took their foot off the gas. Difficult fixture out of the way, but unfortunately, the fixture list looks really quite unkind to us at the minute. It's not until you sort of get home to Leeds and Brighton that we might have a chance to pick up some points. But quite honestly, we're under now so much pressure to win those games that even if we come out of them with a draw, we're going to feel like it's a disaster. So I'll just finish by saying, yes, we are in a relegation fight. And anybody that doesn't think that needs to get real. I've redone my predictions for the Predictor League. And I put a fair amount of hopium into those. And I predicted every result until the end of the season. And we ended up on 39 points. And that is because we are so behind where we need to be now. What is it? 5 points from 9 or 5 points from 10? So we have got a lot of ground to make up. We can't afford to carry on like this, or we are going to be in real trouble. So I'm not saying sack off the Europa League.
Rob's got a habit of saying a hell of a lot without saying anything at all. All you've done, basically, you haven't. There's no blame. There's no tactical analysis. There's nothing really that you've
right, what could we have done differently to win that game?
But let me do you a bit for you. Let me do it for you. The lineup to start with, we knew what kind of team we were up against. A high-flying, high-pressing, energetic team who put all their energy into that first half, really, and that's all they needed to do. And what did we do? He tried to play with the same lineup who pretty much given their all a few days earlier in the Porto game. And we've spent over 220 million on this squad, and he can't rotate players and decide that this player is not ready for that game. We knew what we were up against. I don't care the fact that we didn't do anything in their half. What was the point of having all those plays? We didn't block out anything in the middle. They just strolled through us. They absolutely strolled through us. We actually got in each other's way. So I don't understand really what has changed. You know, people just get so easily swept up in the euphoria. I mean, it's just because he knows Cloughie's dog's name. You know, everyone's impressed by that, and it's all about the smoke and mirrors, like it was with Cooper again. This is just as bad as Cooper ball. And I know it's only the second game, but it was awful yesterday. We were never in the game, and I don't care about the second half. They put the handbrake on and they never got out of second gear in the second half. Whenever they wanted to, they could have absolutely destroyed us. So I don't take that performance in the second half. The only thing that stood out in that second half performance was actually Taiwo. I think he actually made a difference. I think he actually gave their defenders something to worry about, when in the first half, we didn't lay a feather on them. And like you said, we had one touch in the opponent's half in that first half. There's a lot wrong. There's a hell of a lot wrong. That set piece, you've made a lot of excuses, but why was nobody defending?
Reasons, not excuses.
No, they're excuses, because why was nobody defending the goalkeeper? Why was none of our players around him? You know,
I agree with that.
So this is down to
they should put someone on Tyler Adams. I agree.
We never do. We're the only team that doesn't do it.
He shouldn't have been pushed off that easily, but I've got a lot of problems. I get called out for this, and it's because we have idiots like Crypto interrupting all the time. But before the end of the transfer window, we were talking about goalkeepers, and I said Sells needs some stiff competition. Don't rely on him to be the same Sells that we had last season. And everybody slated me. No, he's a Golden Glove winner. He's been shit this season. He's been absolutely shocking. And there's a lot of things that he does wrong that I think are starting to come out now. He never comes for the ball. Even if the ball's played over the top, the defenders have to tell him to come and get the ball. He needs to take pressure off our defenders occasionally, and he doesn't tend to do that. He's a great shot stopper, don't get me wrong, but there's a lot of his game that's lacking, and we just brush over it because we had such an amazing season last season and he got 13 clean sheets. But he's been poor in that run that this horrendous run that we've had since the end of last season. He's been catalyst in that as well. There's too many times where goals have gone in and we said, it sells. You know, maybe it's not his fault, but I'm sorry, he's got to do better, especially on that first goal. Despite everything the referee did to try and give that goal and give that situation. We still have to be stronger in that situation. And the second goal, like I said, we got in each other's way. And why one of those two defenders couldn't come to the attacker, I don't know. But Bournemouth, they managed to find these absolute gems from I don't know where, because they've sold half their defence, quality defenders as well, and replaced them with quality again. That young lad up front who scored that second goal, never heard of him. Was he 19, 20 years old? Where do they find these from? Their recruitment's almost...
Crappy, man. He's even called crappy.
He's better than all of our players put together. I say Nico's the only one who really stands out with any sort of praise in any game. And I think, you know, at the end of the season, he should just get a special award based on what he gets on the player ratings, because it's not just us saying it, the fans are saying it as well. He's been consistent all through the season. But the rest of the players, we need to talk about the players. We've had 3 managers, but where's the blame on the players? How many more managers do we need? These overpaid, I don't want to F them, Jeff, but honestly, why the hell are they not getting any blame on this? Because he's the same players who chat shit all the time. Morgan Gibbs-White can shut up. Or I can breathe again. You can't, I'm done with it. Honestly, I'm done with listening to their bullshit after the games. Just go and do it on the pitch. I don't want to hear your crap. I want to see it on the pitch. Sorry, I've had my rant. And jump in, please, or give us some super chats.
That's been very polite so far, you know.
A lot of very... It's because crypto's not here. A lot of very good points there, most of which I agree with, some of which I kind of don't. First thing I'd like to say is welcome to Dyche Ball. All those people that were... saying on last Friday, that I should be apologising. If you recall, I said that this is not the Premier League. This is Europa. Anything can happen. Premier League is when we'll see. And what you saw yesterday was Dyche Ball, i.e., no shots on target, I don't think, or maybe one. I don't know. I can't think of one. Basically, no attacks and poor defending. Dyche has let a goal in every one of his last 20-odd games. So it's not like he gets, you know, he's watertight at the back. He isn't. I think, so that's that part of the equation. I think that Dyche is the wrong manager. I don't think he suits our players. I don't think he suits us. And sadly, I think you'll see that. Becoming more and more evident as the weeks go by. But anyway, let's hope not. So that's the management kind of side of things, because we've spoken a lot about Dyche. With the players, yeah, I was watching that game yesterday in the first half after about half an hour, and the teams actually came up along the bottom. And I looked and thought, we're better than them in every department. The only player of theirs that I would take would be Semenyo. I thought, other than that, you look at our midfield compared with their midfield, the so-called quality that we've got compared with them. So why were we not competing in midfield? Why did he play 2 in midfield against a highly motivated, highly energetic Bournemouth style who flood the midfield and they're at you? So he put 2 in midfield. Yeah, that's good thinking, Dyche. So, but even with that, you look at our midfield players, Douglas Luiz, Elliot Anderson, who was terrible yesterday, but, you know, he is a quality player. MGW, if you like, although not my cup of tea, but nevertheless, 2 England internationals and a Brazilian international against players of theirs that, you know, you've got, what's his name, the Yank that I quite like.
Yeah. Who was that Leeds?
Yeah, Adams,
just to help you out, Tyler Adams was at Leeds. Scott was at Bristol City, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Bristol City, yeah. Alex Scott, yeah.
And
so
Cliver, I don't even know where they got Cliver from.
Yeah, so you're pitting these players against these top international players, and we're getting nowhere near the ball. Now, you've got. I mean, I was in admiration of the closing down that Bournemouth were doing. I thought it was exceptional. They never gave us a second. Why can't our players do that? Because you're technically gifted, does that mean you can't put a bit of effort in? Is that what it means?
Yeah.
You know, I know Douglas Luiz is a hard player. I know he is. Right, he's in danger of getting booked every tackle he puts in. So I know he's a hard player. I know that Elliot Anderson runs around all over the pitch like a blue-arse fly. MGW, for all his faults, one thing he does do is run about a lot and tackle. I saw none of it. So this breath of fresh air that's come in doesn't seem to have done a great deal. Now, as regards Sells, this is my last point. I've been a bit too serious. As for Sells, I can tell the difference between people that have played football and people that haven't. And I'll tell you what it is. The people that haven't played football says it was only a small nudge. He should have pushed him off. The people that have played football know that whether you're a defender or a forward or a goalkeeper, once you're up in the air, you are out of control. It only takes that, and you lose your balance. Now, I'm not forgiving Sells for that goal yesterday. I'm not saying it's his fault. I'm not saying it's not his fault. I'm just saying, think about what you're saying when you're talking about a footballer that is in the air and being pushed, what it does to him. Okay? I still like Sells a lot. I still like. Hang on, I'm nearly done, mate. I still like I do like you a lot, mate. But I still like Sells a lot. And the excuse or the reason I will give that could be responsible for his patchy form this season is the patchy fucking defense we've got. It's never the same two players. They never play well together. Last season, he had a rock-solid back four who played well every week. You imagine playing behind that? You imagine the confidence that it gives you? You imagine the understanding that you have with that back four? He's got none of that right now. It's like different. Everybody's all over the shop. So give him a little bit of a break in that respect if you want to. And
let's not forget Evan Nielsen was out. Brooks was out for them yesterday.
Bournemouth were brilliant, by the way. I was so jealous of them, They were just all over us. They looked so enthusiastic, so energetic.
The thing is, they can only do that for 45 minutes.
That's the least that a Dyche team should be able to do, by the way. That's the least a Dyche is get stuck in, pounce on the ball, never give them a minute when they're in attack. Fucking hell, Milenkovic and Murillo, I said needed a slap last season. The way they backed off for that second goal was fucking criminal. Criminal.
They did it. They did it last season against Cliver, against the same team.
Yeah,
I think it was Cliver. They just
maybe people are right. We should have just calm down, write it off as it's just Bournemouth, and take the season from next week. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Just to come back on what you're saying about the keeper. Now, I hear what you're saying. Obviously, a nudge in your trajectory in the air will take you off, but that doesn't make it a foul. That's
no. I didn't say it was a foul. No, I didn't say it was a foul.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm saying that it does have an effect. And I'll tell you what is truly wrong, and you did touch on it, I think. Again, Mr. Dyche, I'm sorry, he's supposed to be the king of the fucking defense. Why was nobody in between the goalkeeper and the striker? I've never seen it before. Yeah. I've never seen a goalkeeper and a striker together like that. And nobody anywhere about.
I've been watching it all season because it's been bugging me. Forest are the only team, well, at least teams I can think of, that do not set up with a player to block, to free up the keeper. But the thing is, three managers have done it. So I think this might actually, and I'm speculating, be Sells saying, you know what, I'm 6 foot, whatever, I can handle it.
But he's never listen, and I know
I do agree with that, because it is the goalkeeper's responsibility. He should say to one of his defenders, come here. And I think Sells says, no, it gives me more room on the line.
I feel freer,
Not come out, plenty of room in the goal where he ended up.
He's never commanded. He's never commanded his. Even when he had that settled defense last season, he didn't command that defense.
He doesn't come off his line.
They were brilliant. They were impeccable.
Well, what you got to remember that
he didn't have to. So he's not that kind of goalkeeper. Is my point. And he like I say, he's got a lot of plus points, but there's some negative. We can't say that he's a perfect goalkeeper because there's a lot of negativities I can pull up.
Well, also,
to concentrate too much on the goalkeeper because there are far bigger issues. That's I think what I'm getting at.
It comes on the back of that weak ass punch that he did against Chelsea that went straight to their player that volleyed it in as well. I mean, it's 2-2 league games. So he's definitely got form on it. And the problem is anybody that you play is going to be watching this foot play, right, that's a weakness we're going to target. Every set piece, we're going to target that goalkeeper because he can't deal with the high balls. But my only problem is we've signed 2 goalkeepers over the transfer window. Is any one of them remotely close to the first team?
John.
And if not,
You keep saying John, but I'm not convinced.
that performance of his against Swansea was possibly the worst goalkeeping performance.
All right,
I've
but
seen
you're going to
since the
judge
days of
one guy
Steelers.
on one performance after having shifted countries and doesn't speak
Yeah,
language
I mean,
and all this.
Yeah,
I'm
But
telling you,
the thing is, hang on. But the thing is, right, that if you are going to bring him in, it's a desperate move to bring him in. And I think what Dyche is trying to do is to get back to what we had last season. So you don't do that he's not at the tinkering stage yet. I think what he's trying to do is get some muscle memory back and try to pick a consistent team. So switching the goalkeeper is just giving yourself an additional variable there. And I think that's why he hasn't done it. But at the same time,
I don't think you can, Rob. I don't think you could drop Sells right now because we don't know how good Victor is in the Premier League. We just don't know. If anybody, I would say Gunn over John. I would say Gunn.
Yeah,
to come in because he has got experience.
A lot of comments asking for Sells to be dropped. I think it's too reactionary. That's not where I was going with it.
We've got bigger problems, haven't we?
Yeah, I'm just saying.
The defense out, it might help the fucking goalkeeper. Sorry,
he's got far too much work to do. This is the problem. He's got far too much work to do. How many games last year did he barely have a save to make? And then he would be called upon once or twice from long range and he'd look really good. And we'd say, oh, what?
So the answer then is not to replace Sells. The answer is to get the defense right.
Yeah.
No, the answer is to give him another head injury like he had at Chelsea, which is what
that's
concussion.
We'll get clipped up for threats of violence again, won't we?
No, but to be fair, I think it's just that, obviously he's got a lot of plus points and he's got his negatives, and his frailties are being exposed at the moment. That's what it is. And when he's good, obviously he's a great shot stopper. And when you've got a solid defense in front of him, he's not needing to come for crosses. He's not needing to rush out early and do things like that. He's just needed to do his job, like Rob said, when he has one save a game, and he was making it, But yeah, I think just at the moment, the way we're playing, it's just exposing our weaknesses throughout the team, and especially in goal at the moment.
It's a bit like you could say something like Trent Alexander-Arnold. Nobody rates him as a right back. I don't. You could say the same about Zinchenko. I don't rate him either. But when Van Dijk was there, it didn't show up his deficiencies because Van Dijk would cover for him. As soon as Van Dijk was out of the team, Trent was getting exposed all the time down that right-hand side of Liverpool. So it's a similar thing. He's like Ed says, his weaknesses are being exposed now because he's not got that solid defense in front of him. I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
I think, look, with Sells, I like Sells, but his track record, when you look at it, isn't that good pre-Forest. When we bought him, I think he was 19th in the French league on goalkeeper stats from it was Strasbourg, wasn't it? Yeah, we bought him from. He had a stinky time at Newcastle when he was with Newcastle, but he had an absolutely fantastic season for Forest and a good end to the season before when he joined us. So I don't think Sells is the main. I don't know.
Who was the Benfica keeper we had?
What, when we played Porto?
No, we had a goalkeeper that had previously been at Benfica, and I said he's got to be good. He's been at Benfica for 10 years. Was that not Sells?
Recently? No. Did Sells play at Benfica? You think of Lacademos?
I am. Oh my God, nobody can remember. Yes, Lacademos. He played for Benfica.
But the point I'm saying is, I think you lot are wasting everyone's time talking about the goalkeeper because Sells.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah,
he's not the problem.
Yes, we've agreed.
Not the biggest problem.
So, what is the issue? Because I'll tell you what, no one, you guys on the panel can't come here and say that you weren't happy with the transfer window. You lot were glazing the signings we've done, the squad, and all this stuff. Not just us
lot. I think that's a collective we.
Yeah, that's a collective for you lot in the chat. And what should you now tell me? Actually,
and for Mr. Wolfmeister as well.
Yeah, but also
you were chucking everything all over the place when we got backward. So don't tell me.
I still wanted that Kliush. I'm just saying, let's not forget that, right? And I didn't want Zinchenko.
But plenty of others have said we had a good transfer window outside of a Forest fan base. So it's
we still have had a good transfer window.
Yeah.
What transfer? What new player has looked good?
Disaster with.
Okay, so what new player has looked good?
Douglas Luiz.
No. Everybody keeps ignoring me. I don't know why I keep repeating myself. Manager. Right?
Yeah. Okay, I
got
hear
terrible
it.
Managers, you get terrible players, with terrible performances.
Oh, okay, but let's just put the manager debate to one side. Going through. Hold on, man.
That's what's causing it.
Sentence, man. So Rob made a point. Douglas Luiz looking good. Is there anyone else who's catching the eye? And when I say good, bear in mind they're coming into a squad that finished in the top 7 last season. It should be good enough for Europa. Who's raised the bar? Let me readdress the question. Who's raised the bar? Who's raised the bar? That's probably a better question.
Igor Jesus, very good.
Yeah, I would say that what we ought to do is one of our goals is a lot of people do this in the close an international break, but I think we ought to do it around now. Is actually talk about our transfer targets and why they're not working. Because
you know what, there's an international break in 2 weeks. That's perfect.
Yeah, so that might be a good time to go through individually each one.
Can't wait.
I mean, it's not going to be a very positive streak.
Honestly, at the moment, I'm looking forward to the international breaks at the moment.
I can't wait, man. I can't wait. I'll give my arms.
Hey, you know what happened to me this morning, right? I had 2 tickets on my phone, Man U and Leeds, I think. You know this. Oh, and Man U and Leeds. This morning, I get my brother saying, "Oh, yeah, another 55 quid, Brighton." Yeah. Fucking what? All I'm doing is paying out money all the time and getting absolutely no value for money whatsoever. None. In fact, I feel worse having seen us play than I do before I see us play, and I'm paying for it.
Okay, let's address the thing that annoyed me the most last night. Rob, is it okay for these players to be tired or / not fit, as Dyche said?
Well, I think some of them are prioritizing their international careers. Are we going there?
Are we doing the Chris Wood thing again?
Well, not to name.
He did get injured. He did get injured, to be fair to you, out in New Zealand.
I would have liked to have him available for the last 2 games, if I'm honest. And I think that until we've seen Forest playing in the league at home with Chris Wood fully fit under Dyche, I'm going to withhold judgment there because I think we've still got a few aces up our sleeve. He hasn't played a minute for Dyche yet. Obviously, Aina's going to hopefully come back in time for January. I think that the problem that we've got right now is that there's games left, right, and centre. So with the Europa League and the league games and the international breaks, I think that a lot of the players, with the travel that's involved as well, are getting worn out. And how did Backward manage to get injured? He's barely kicked a ball. So it is frustrating. The problem that we've got here is that we feel down now. We feel negative and down now. The problem is that the players probably feel the same way. So unfortunately, we have to snap out of it. And that does actually include us, the supporters. We also need to snap out of it, right? Because we play a part in this. So, let's just put that game behind us and think about the ones that we've got coming up, because you can't do anything about that game because it's finished.
Makes us even more depressed.
Honestly.
No, but I mean, we're looking around for blame. If we can go further and further back. Things have been crap since about April. I mean, we have done some supreme acts of self-sabotage over the last few months, for which we do only have ourselves to blame. We made the decision about who we were going to sign, what managers we were going to appoint. We've placed ourselves in the sell. Yeah, exactly. We these mistakes are self-inflicted. But let's not imagine that we finished last season firing on all cylinders. We were utter crap. We lost at home to Brentford and Everton. We couldn't even score against Chelsea when the Champions League depended on it. And all the other teams lost. Okay?
Having been leading.
I think we probably need to see things in context. For the first 2 years in the Premier League, we were relegation battlers. For a period of about 4 or 5 months.
But can we get back to the question, Rob?
No, I'm finished. For a period of about 4 to 5 months, Nuno got the team to click. But then the problem was everybody made videos about it and we got found out, and it became obvious how to beat us. And we have not been any good since about April now. Okay, so you can't throw it all on Sean Dyche. You can't blame the new players.
We haven't mentioned Sean Dyche once.
No, but
somebody has.
And I'll continue to mention him until he's gone.
Okay, but
Cass is throwing some chest hair on that chest, man. I swear to God, Cass, if you lose to us for the third game in a row, bro.
I was just going to say, Rob started off.
They're going to win the double now.
Go on,
literally. Like, I was going to say, like, Rob started off doing that thing that I hate, and I don't know what the term for it is, but it's basically everybody who's injured and not in a team is going to be the solution to our problems right now. But the players who are there,
copium.
If you can't play 2 or 3 games in a week, and the only one I would give, only couple that I'd probably give an excuse to for yesterday for being tired was probably Douglas Luiz, because he hasn't had a pre-season of proper match fitness, and Anderson, because he's played every single minute. And they actually
I was thinking of it.
Say again.
They were the two I was thinking of.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're the two that were left to run that midfield, and they both looked leggy yesterday. I saw some poor mistakes from Douglas Luiz early on. There was one occasion where he took his eye off the ball and he just rolled off. They didn't look themselves yesterday, and I think he should have made the brave decision and either give him an extra man in that midfield, which should have been a solution. I think Sangare should have been in there, Sangare or Dominguez. Either way, you give him some legs around him. Yeah, give him some legs around him. But then let me bring on Yates in the second half, and I just honestly, that's when I know we've given up. When you're bringing on Yates to start that second half to try, I mean, I saw him on the edge of a box waving for it. I was like thinking, what the hell are you going to do if you do get the ball? You can't shoot. You can't pass it forward. Stop asking for the ball, because everybody ignored him when he did it anyway. It doesn't instill any confidence in me when you're bringing on players like that, when you've got the squad that we've got. So if every manager that comes in is going to be sentimental towards the likes of Yatesy, then we're never going to progress, because we've got a squad that we've assembled very expensively and they're not being used. And we can't really judge them because they're not being used. Like Ant says, how can you cuss a player who's not had a minute to play? And even Hutchinson yesterday, there was one occasion when he was one-on-one.
He did look quite lively, I thought.
Yeah, apart from this one occasion where he's one-on-one and he runs straight into the player. Nothing. He just went ran
sorry,
straight
who are you talking about?
Hutchinson yesterday when he came in. So he didn't have the impact that he had in the previous.
I just think he looked
good for 5 minutes. 5 minutes he looked active.
Yeah.
And then he just,
And I say went back into
I'd like to answer Kaz. Kaz, you may or may not be right that we overachieved last season. What a fantastic overachievement that was in that case. But surely you'd agree that with the additions we've made to our squad, we are vastly underachieving this season, and we certainly shouldn't be in 18th with that squad. Anyway, going back to Wolfie's question about tiredness, absolutely not. Absolutely not. We're in October. I might have a little sympathy around May, June, that they might be getting a bit tired. But fit, ultra fit young men who train every day specifically for the purpose of being able to play in football games, not being able to play 2 games in 4 days, is absolutely ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And even if you do believe that let's say, I don't know, Endoy, let's pick Endoy. If you think actually, he is looking a little bit leggy, a little bit tired, so I'm going to have to make him do more work to get up to fitness, right? You fucking don't play. Sorry, you flip him and don't play him then, do you? You bring in another winger that you've spent 35 million quid on or whatever. So whichever way you look at it, there's no excuse for having for players being tired on that pitch. They're either not tired, or if they are tired, they need to put extra work in to get fit and have a salary reduction meanwhile. And you can replace him with another player who you consider to be fit. So there is no excuse for having tired players.
Can I add one point to that?
Yep.
Did Nico Williams look unfit to anyone yesterday?
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Nico Williams has played every Wales game in every international break, and I'm pretty sure someone may correct me. He's played pretty much every single minute of this season. But
I think so. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, some players are naturally, they've got that stamina. You know, it's natural to them.
Yeah, but this whole squad isn't playing internationals. This whole squad isn't starting every single Forest game. This whole squad isn't covering right back and left back based on what other holes are doing. I know I'm overdoing it on Nico Williams, but you know what?
You're right. He's a fabulous player. My goodness me, how he's come on. I remember, and this is no diss on you because he went through a hard period. I remember you wanted him out.
That Blackpool game, I remember it in the FA Cup the first year.
Yes,
one of the worst.
But he wasn't
what I would say to players that aren't as, I mean, I reckon Nico Williams, he either works harder than everybody else, or he's got that natural DNA, the stamina that's in him. But that's the one way you can overcome that is by working harder. I'm sorry, I know people don't like to hear it in this modern day. You know, football having to work, but I'm afraid you do.
Yeah,
you do.
That's another point.
And the best players like Cristiano Ronaldo, he worked harder than anybody.
Well, you have to work hard to be the best. The other point is, as a fullback in a modern game of football, you cover more yards than a striker does, than a centre back does,
a lot more
than a holding a midfielder would. So there is no excuse if you're a guy who's running up and down, has played all these games, all the internationals, but the rest they're not quite fit. Shut up, man. Shut up. Sorry, as I interrupted you about to say something.
No, I agree with everything you guys have said there. And Nico Williams is a special type of player. There's not many like him. I think every squad usually has one or two players like him, but there's not many. And he is built differently. But like Thompson's just said, if we could have 11 Nicos on the pitch, just from the point of view that they're going to put
Conor Gallagher. Sorry, there's another one. Conor Gallagher. He's got that engine where he just keeps on going.
Yeah. But you're going to get a minimum 7 out of 10 performance from him every single week, if not better, you know. And that's all you want. You want some consistency. But this is what I'm saying. The players are getting away with absolute murder because they're not being called out for their lack of professionalism on the pitch, their lack of concentration. There's no excuse for their striker running through on goal yesterday and taking a free shot from the edge of the area. There's no excuse for things like that. That's down to commitment, player mentality. We've talked about it a lot, and it's spreading. It's spreading within the fan base as well. I've seen fans saying this week. I've seen fans this week saying, and within our own WhatsApp groups as well, saying that we should give up on Europa now and just concentrate on the league.
I'm the opposite.
What are you talking about?
I'm the opposite. I'm the opposite. Fucking don't get relegated, but if you're going to prioritise prioritise the Europa Cup. Let's win something. And if we finish 16th, so be it.
No, that's what I'm saying. How damaged are our fan base? Honestly, I'm really infuriated by some of. I've seen infuriated in the chat. Infuriated by some of the comments.
Saying there's 30 years to get there, and they want to dump it off after 3 games.
We just want to give up after 3 games. Let's give it up because we can't do anything about it. And those who were singing Dyche's praises when he came in, now we're just saying, "Oh, we had no choice." I'm sorry, it's not an answer. You weren't saying that a week ago. You were saying he was a solution, he was the answer. And like I said, just because you know Cloughie's dog's name, which is Del Boy, by the way, he seems to have impressed everybody in his initial press conferences. And stuff like that. I'm sorry, I'm not sold by that bullshit, mate. I want to see it on the pitch, and you should not really show me. You got away with it. We got away with it against Porto. 2 penalties, and I will go back on that. Tell me how many teams have more than one set penalty taker on the day, because I saw a lot of idiot comments afterwards saying, "Oh no, he was right to do it." I'm sorry, no teams do that, and that was a rare incident where
Man U got 3.
Well, they might have 3, but they're not going to use all 3 in one game, are they? We're not going to.
Bruno's
Saka's the only one. Saka's the only top flight penalty taker that I've seen given a penalty away. The rest of them, you don't give penalties away. You know, you want that goal. So I didn't agree with that. We did get away with it. And if Jesus had missed it, everybody would have been lambasting the issue. So let's not pretend that it was a good decision. He just got away with it.
Owen, have you not seen the way Dyche has been playing football for the past 2 seasons? Don't give me this. It's not
all his career. All his career.
Let me just catch the super charts. Big up to Curtis. Can you have a word of Cass in the chat so Curtis put him in his place? With $2, he goes, Yates was our best midfielder yesterday. Our squad, my ass.
My word, Curtis. You just wasted $2, bro.
I'll be honest with you. I don't think I noticed Yates on the pitch. Not in a good way or a bad way. I didn't really see him. Cass with the 199. You deserve this for appointing Dyche. He's crap.
Hey,
I didn't appoint anyone.
I didn't say we didn't appoint him. I can guarantee you that. I didn't appoint anyone.
Don't you go lose to Dyche ball on Saturday, bro? Like, you're building yourself up for it, Cass, like you did last year twice. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
careful with that big mouth of yours.
Last year, Wolfie, we knew we were good, and we knew Man U was shy. It's slightly different this year.
And Man U is still shy, man. Man U is still shy.
Of course. Of course.
Yeah, I think he doesn't like looking at his own face, Andy. That'll be why. Okay. What was I gonna say?
It's because he can't get his beard like that. That's why.
Guys says, I wasted $2 in this channel all the time. I waste $2 on this channel
We
all the time.
appreciate it.
Big up to you guys. Big up to you.
Good
Wolfie, I take all 4 of you right now and school you all. Ooh, big man, big man. Ooh, scary Cass, scary
All
Cass.
as in what?
What? I think he's talking FIFA. When he starts talking like that, he's talking about FIFA.
Okay.
Anyway, okay.
Okay.
So look, I really don't want to be negative, but this team is pissing me off. I can't lie to you. Everything about this is pissing me off at the moment. Was there any signs of life? Rob, I'm gonna come to you with this because you're a bit of a happy clapper.
I'll have forgotten that by the time you get to me.
Let Ant speak because he's waggling his finger. As long as you hand the microphone back.
Okay.
Yeah, no, mine's very, very quick. All I was going to say is my preferred right back is, if Ina's not fit, is Savona. I think he's looking a fine young player.
As opposed to who?
As opposed to having Zinchenko on the left and Nico Williams on the right, or having Morata there, or no, he's more left.
Yeah, you could put Morata.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm just trying to say I thought Savona looks a good player. He's looking a good player. I like Jair
Cunha there, you know. What's happened to him, by the way? What's happened to him? Sorry, Rob, back to you, guys.
What's happened to McAtee? Do we want to talk about that? Sorry, Rob.
This is where I was going to go. I think we have to try and be positive because the problem is that with a lot of clubs, you get into such a toxic spiral that you almost talk yourself into relegation. And we cannot do that. We do not want to go back to the Championship. I don't think that we're going to change manager again this season. And I don't want to. Right? Now, this will be clipped as me saying Rob wants to get relegated with Sean Dyche. But I'm saying, yeah, I know. But we can't be having that conversation on a weekly basis. So we've got to think, what does success look like? So we had the manager, he had a positive result the other day, and he's kept the team exactly the same. So you can see what he's trying to do. He's trying to solidify around a consistent lineup. I think hopefully he's learned now that there are some games where you have to spice things up a bit. Because I think Bournemouth knew exactly who we were going to pick, what formation we were going to play, and how to beat us. Okay? So what I want to see from Dyche is some different tactics used. In some games, we might want to play 4-3-3. In other games, we might want to play with 3 centre-backs. Hell, Liverpool away is going to call for something rather special. Even though
they've got 4 on the trot, what are you worried about?
Yeah, right. Okay, it's still
Dr. Forest incoming.
Right? So, but I think that we should remember that a number of these new signings, we just haven't settled yet. I think that's a problem. We just haven't settled.
We're 9 games in, Rob. That's freaking over 2 months. We haven't settled.
3 managers, 3 competitions, and a hell of a lot of injuries. So a lot of players. We've seen
not many injuries. Sorry,
Einar's the only long-term injury.
What are you talking about? Murillo missed most of that.
Murillo missed 3 games.
We've had most of those games with Morata in defence. Someone who is not a starter.
Murillo got injured at the Arsenal game, and then he missed 3 league games, bro.
Well, it felt like forever.
Well, yeah, that was the Postecoglou reign.
So let's just consider that we have got some real potential in players that we've hardly seen anything from yet. I'm talking about Kalimuendo, talking about Hutchinson. Yeah, he wasn't great yesterday. He was involved. There wasn't much quality in what he did, but he was involved. So there's people like those.
Like he wanted to take people on. That's what I liked about him.
Yeah, exactly. I think we probably need to decide, have we seen maybe a bit much of Ndoye, and do we need to see some of the others?
I'm sorry, Ndoye's crap.
What's a polite way of putting it? Do we need to wonder whether we've seen
you know who was glazing him? Cass was, man. When we signed to Cass, was, oh, what a signing.
I'm sure I remember you going on and on about how fantastic.
I did not go on about Ndoye, man.
So some possibilities. Some possibilities. If we're going to try some different things, maybe we could have some games where Kalimuendo is playing on the wing, for example, as part of a 3-man attack. There's just, I think there's a lot of potential in the signings that we haven't seen yet. So we have a very different problem to what we had in April when things started to go off the rails. The problem that we had in April is that we had no new blood in the team. Everybody had seen exactly what our starting lineup was, exactly what our tactic was. There was no ambiguity about it, and people found us out. But the point that we've got now is that we've got a new manager. We've got a lot of players that we haven't seen anything from yet. So I want to see Dyche showing some flexibility. I don't actually want to see, and I know that Ange tinkered a lot and it didn't work for him, but I think we need to approach each one of these games and do something that upsets the opposition a little bit. So I think there's a lot of potential that we haven't seen yet. And yeah, we still got Aina to come back. And if necessary, we've still got the January window. I know we're spent up to the hilt, but there might be some outgoings then.
I think of a few that I want out. Big up to Darren. He says Edu out. You know what? I'm hearing so much Edu out from a lot of the fan base. Thank you, Darren.
I'm not going to respond to it. It really is no point, is it? Because let's face it, it's agenda-driven. It's not based in any sort of fact or knowledge. It's agenda-driven, so I'm not even going to respond to it.
And the issues on the pitch started way before Edu came in. You know, he wasn't.
Everybody praised it. Everybody praised the signings that we got. He has nothing to do with fucking bringing in Postecoglou or Dyche. I don't know where you're getting that from. He's a technical director.
Well, according to
that decision's up to Mr. Marinakis. Nobody else.
Yeah, Marinakis. He just passed.
You can't convince people, because if they've got an agenda, they've got an agenda. So
a bit like you with Postecoglou.
I know. I know.
He was right. He was right.
Cheers, Darren. Thank you for triggering that as well. Forest Lion with the 199. He says, congratulations on over 14 million views. Have we have 14 million views? I didn't even know that, bro.
Yeah.
How did you know that?
Is that what this stream?
This stream, one hell of a stream, man. Yeah. Shout out to you, bro. I will trust that you know that that's true. Thank you so much, Forest Lion. And big up to Curtis wasting another $2. He goes, what in his 15-year career suggests he can do that? I think he's referring to what you were saying there, Rob, and he's talking about Dyche, and I fully agree with him.
Yep, that's what I was going to be my response.
Can somebody remind people about the likes so I can do the likes? Because I don't like to do
I'm just thinking exactly the same thing, man.
Yeah, we're on 150 likes and like 650.
What are we doing though? Are we just admitting defeat now? Are we just admitting defeat?
Well, I'm telling you now, under Dyche, I just have no. What's the word I'm looking for? No expectations. How about that?
I don't have expectations. I am paid millions a year to come up with the solutions. That's the manager's job. But we can criticize what we want to criticize, because if it's not going right, it's not going right. My point is that from what Rob said, he's not that kind of manager. He's not a type of manager who's going to be tinkering with his squad or seeing what formations work for which players. He's going to know what he wants to play, and he's going to try and make the players fit into that formation, which is what he should do. You've got to have a style one way or another. Nothing's worked for us this season, but what he needs to do, he's got this 3 week now. Let's see what impact he can make on the players and see if, actually, I mean, because I don't think his instructions are that complicated. So why these players can't pick it up, I really don't get it. There's a mentality issue. But this is it.
They don't want to. Maybe Douglas Weed doesn't think. I don't want to be just closing down in my own box all the time. You know, even if it's subconscious, it can affect the way you're playing, can't it? You know.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, surely he's playing for his future, so he should be sorting himself out.
I just picked him as one. You couldn't pick any of those.
There's plenty of players in our starting lineup in our squad that need to pull their fingers up, and the ones on the bench aren't really challenging to get on. I say McAtee's almost like a forgotten man. So let's see. Adash has got a free week. Let's give him the chance. You know, the criticism was aimed at Postecoglou quite rightly, but you know he got very little time in between games to be training players. So let's see what happens. We've got a free week, and then we go back into the cycle with Europa League games up until the next international break.
Well, I'm just waiting for the first time he starts Ryan Yates, because then you know exactly where he's at.
And then we're fully engaged. Yeah. Just apologies to the chat. As we've banned Ben for one stream, I'm in control of doing the comments, and I'm trying where I can, so I'm not bringing up as many.
And he's got a poorly hand, you know, people. He's got a poorly hand. It's not easy.
Sympathy. Yeah. So apologies. Well, I'm reading as I go through. I'm reading them as you put them up. Couple more super chats just to catch up on before we move topic. Curtis saying, what I'm saying is my ambition has died mid-table. Yeah, that's
that is quite ambitious.
Yeah, it's still a little high, maybe, Curtis, but I hear it. Thank you for the $3. And big up to Cash Talks Football with the £2 because yes, you are in big trouble. All right, you've done your assessment, have you?
Let me give him a shout out because I've asked him because I want to know what's changed so drastically from the way we defended set pieces and corners last season to what we're doing this season. So I've given him a little task to try and find that out for us and do
your mission. Should you choose to accept it?
That's a good point because apart from Ina, who's obviously not the tallest anyway. We've got a pretty, you know, those defenders are pretty similar to the defenders we had last season. Maybe it's Yates is not there. I don't know. Maybe it's that.
Chris with the £2. He says 4 days training. Are we binning another already? It's 5, isn't it? He's brought him in today to have an extra training session as punishment. So 5.
They'll get them lads. You wait.
Yeah, we're tired now, isn't it?
There was rumors today that if Marco Silva gets sacked, that they will sack Dyche to get Marco. It is all paper.
Stop it. I know, he's doing that. He's pulling up no bloody trees either.
Have you seen all of Nuno's teams in the bottom 3?
Yeah, I can't believe no one noticed that before. I randomly noticed it mid talking on the video. It's weird. Cash with another £2 says so much. I hate you. What?
Don't get it.
That little language review and
£2.
Speaking of Curtis wasting £2,
it could have been so much. I hate you. Like I hate you so much.
Oh, so much has changed. Oh, in terms of the setup.
So much. I hate you.
I deciphered it.
We got there in the end.
You know our language. Yeah. Big up to you. Thank you for the £2. Okay, so we've got United, Sturm Graz, Leeds, and then I think it's the international break. It was Brighton before that.
United.
Man United.
What, this weekend? What day is it today?
Yeah, Saturday, bro.
We've got another home match. Oh, God.
Are we at home? We are at home, yeah.
It feels like we're always away.
Hey?
It feels like we're always away.
No, well, I have to pay for the ticket, so it feels like it's always at home to me.
No, it's just
because you do it. To be fair, you do it a month in advance, don't you? So it seems like
and I think it's our first 3 p.m. of this season, old school Saturday 3 p.m. So look, we've got Man U, Sturm Graz,
should have been looking
Leeds,
forward to
international break. Like, what are you boys saying, man? Like,
I tell you what, I never thought I'd say this. But I am far, far more looking likely to watching on the telly against Sturm Graz than I'm going down the City Ground against Man U.
Well, Sturm Graz is
for two reasons. I hate losing to Man United, and I find it difficult to stay there at the ground when we're losing. Very difficult. And B, I don't give a shit about the Premier League anymore.
Oh, come on.
Only staying in it. I'm all for Europa now.
I said that today, and Dap started calling me fake fan this, fake fan the other. Why are you not concerned and all this? I was like, we're not getting relegated and we're not doing nothing.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. As long as we're safe, I don't think we can achieve anything now. I think it's too late to achieve anything decent in the league this season. So as long as we're safe, 12th, 13th, 14th, magic. Along with the Europa Cup win would be fantastic.
Yeah, I'd be happy with top 15. Top 15 this season in the league, and then Europa.
I don't think people quite realise just how far behind we are. It's because we've all stopped looking at the table.
That's why I'm putting us at 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th.
That we would be needing kind of 2 points a game to get that. Now we are so far behind. We may find that we are in the relegations. Even if we started firing on all cylinders now, picking up away draws, wins at home, it might take us a couple of months to get out of the relegation zone.
Yeah, it might do. And that'd mean we'd be in January. So you've got another 5 months to go.
We may get out of the relegation zone on the last day, like we've done the first two seasons.
Yeah, we may
You don't achieve that by giving up on the Premier League. What gives me hope, and I know that neither is really a similar situation to Forest, but both Crystal Palace and Wolves had an atrocious start last season and managed to dig themselves out of it.
Yeah, but we had a good manager.
Bournemouth. What about Bournemouth? They didn't win for about 10 games, did they?
But I don't think that they did that by forgetting about the Premier League.
Sorry, Rob, let me just say this to you so you know what we're talking about. When I say bump off the thing, what I mean is prioritise Europa. So if we've got 2 games that week and a player can only play in 1, I would pick him for the Europa rather than the Premier because we've got a lot. Because we've got a lot longer to recover in the Premier League than we have in the Europa League. And I want my club to win something. It would mean a lot to me.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be ironic if we qualified for the Champions League and we were playing in the Championship?
No one's ever done it before.
That could have been Spurs, couldn't it, last season? These things happen.
Yeah, well,
why is it when we go crap? Where are Leicester and Southampton when you need them, man? Man, you and Spurs.
This is the problem. This is a problem.
Well,
I do think that
blessed with Leeds and Burnley and Sunderland, but they've done a lot better than us anyway.
Can I just raise?
We're 8 points off 12. We're 8 points off 10 with what 30.
29 games.
And how many points have we taken in the last 9 games?
29 games to go. So that means there are around 50-something points we gained. And we're 8 points behind. And we can't possibly.
How long has it taken us?
We will, by the way, but it's certainly not impossible.
Wait, Anne, how long has it taken us to get to the 8 points?
But football's not like that. If you said that, then when Bournemouth didn't win a game in their first 10 games last season, you would have said, "Well, how many points will they get after 38 games?" Then, none.
But I'll use your answer. Look at their manager. Look at ours.
Yeah. Okay. I grant you that. I'm trying to just say that mid-table is not an impossibility, but with this manager, it's unlikely. Is that okay?
Well, if you forget about the Premier League, I think it makes it more unlikely. It has to be a priority.
You're right. I misspoke. I shouldn't have said forget about it. Prioritise Europa. Hey, there's only 6.
We want to do an games.
There's only 5 more games in this. If we get up into the top 8, there's only 5 more games in this round of Europa League.
Yeah, but our next 3 games are against utter crap. So we should be able to.
Yeah, but we still should be prioritising it. We shouldn't be playing.
I'm saying Sturm Graz, Malmo, and what they called Utrecht or Utrecht.
I thought you meant Man United.
Oh, that's a given. They're crap. But I'm just saying in the Europa League, they're just utter crap. I think nearly all of them are in the bottom 30.
Yeah, didn't we think that about Midtjylland?
Yeah, they're top.
Yeah, they are there.
They're top, right? So let's not go there. Let's not.
But Sturm Graz, etc., have already proven that they're not very good. Midtjylland were a bit unknown, weren't they? Midtjylland were in Champions League season or 2 ago.
All right, let's not overglaze them. Right, they're still shit.
Yeah, they were. Midtjylland were in the Champions League.
I know, but so was like.
Who did they beat? Was it Real Madrid to beat somebody?
Yeah, but so are Young Boys. Young Boys are in the Champions League.
So did Sheriff. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, out of these 3, well, there's 2 games technically to the international break. And by the way, I don't think we can get out of the bottom 3, even if we won both games, because Wolves are playing Fulham.
But then, look, this is how we should be looking at the table with 10 games to go, not with 10 games gone. The mentality still needs to change. Right, okay, so I just want to ask this question to the chat, because they keep saying they're chatting shit, right? All these people who think we're in a relegation fight, yeah, and that we've got a manager to save us from relegation battle, where do they think he's going to get us finishing? Just above the relegation zone, or do they think that he's going to get us up into the top half of the table? Because I don't get this mentality. It's 10 games gone. It's not relegation battle does not start.
It's a
people think that Sunderland are in a good chance of winning the Premier League.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
better chance than us. Better chance than us.
It's a mentality, because the mentality is already. If mentality is already that we're in a relegation battle, then we are in a relegation battle. I'm not even really looking at the table, because I know 2 or 3 wins will get us out of it. Yes, we have to get those 2 or 3 wins.
Ez, how come me and you are negative when they say the manager's crap and we're, the team's crap, and they're positive when we say we're not in a relegation battle?
Yeah,
we should be, I don't get it. Which are we? I'm confused.
We can't win. It's because anything we say.
What you guys don't understand is if you talk about the manager that the fan base like, then you're negative. If you talk about the club and be positive about it, then you're happy club.
It's toxic positivity.
Toxic positivity. Yeah. Yeah. Enable.
How about this? I wake up every day and I think Ange Postecoglou isn't manager anymore, and that gives me grounds for positivity.
That's a good start to the morning. I might start doing that.
If I owned the team, I would probably just stick with him until the end of the season, come what may.
Even if we go down.
Even if we went down, yes. That clip is now 2 years old, and I don't even know why you're still playing it.
Yeah, you're still wearing the same jumper.
Because it's Rob.
It's
because it's funny. That's why.
It's called receipts, mate. It's called receipts.
Like the one I've got on Endoy that I'm going to play next week with him.
On me?
Okay. Endoy.
Yeah, I don't think what people get is that I would happily apologize about Dyche. I would love to be wrong about Dyche. I would love to be wrong about Dyche. I really would. Big up to Curtis with the $2. He goes, because our fans don't have standards for 2 decades.
Yeah.
I think the standards were worn out of some of the fan base, bro, and you can't blame them. You
you young kids, you've never had it, so you can't be like us as OGs. We know what fucking I've done it again. We know what flipping standards are.
If you notice that Rob hasn't said right once this stream.
Hasn't he?
He's doing better than me, because I was determined not to swear, and I've sworn 3 times now.
I've decided to replace it with okay.
Right.
Okay. We're looking out for that now.
It's
a good one. That used to be my go-to when I went on other podcasts. It used to give me that thinking time. When somebody says something, I go, okay. Yeah. And then that gave you the thinking time to think of a response.
Okay. I'm doing it right.
Okay.
I think we covered everything that I can think of. Curtis with another £2 because I started supporting in 2014. And I have standards. Big up to you.
Man.
That was a good start to the year, if I remember rightly. That was Pierce. We were top. Yeah. Big up to you, Curtis.
By his comments.
My standards weren't McLeish, McLaren, or Megson, or Anderson. That's a hell of a list.
You forgot Pat.
Oh, man, you wonder to yourself about the mental capacity of
and who's the other one?
Don't forget Joe Kinnear.
Yeah, you lot do forget. You lot. I can remember last game of the season. Trent End all bowing down to Joe Kinnear and him bowing down back to us because he'd saved us from relegation. And everybody was bowing to Joe Kinnear. So you forget that. He went on to be not
that don't make him good. That don't make him good.
His first season, a bit like Dyche, he could come in and save us from relegation and everybody would be, yay. And then the next season, you think, hang on, he's crap.
It could be worse. It could be Ron Atkinson.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's another
going into
cracker.
the Arsenal dugout. Yeah. Who's the manager that you most kind of despised?
Well, it's Platt, of course.
Yeah,
Me,
Meg's
it was
me,
Platt as well. Go on.
For
Don't
me,
forget
it was
Matt Gillis,
McLaren.
1967.
All right.
McLaren for me, mate.
In our era, and not your freaking weird 1980s.
It's difficult. I think Megson's up there.
just because of his longevity. That was the problem with him. He wouldn't go away.
You know what, yeah, but the one thing I do admire him for, he walked away and said, "Keep your money," and I thought that was really gentlemanly of him because I would.
What was he getting paid in League One anyway? He's probably getting paid.
It's Harry Arter's agent, didn't he?
Yeah, but I wouldn't do it. As even if it was 55 pence, I'd say, "Give me that money over you."
A lot of people hate Chris Hughton more. Just looking at some of the comments.
Yeah, Chris Hughton.
I hated Platt. I couldn't stand
because I had hopes of Hughton. I did actually have.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, the whole. Oh well, he did it for Brighton, did it for Newcastle.
Yeah.
Do you remember David Platt actually played a couple of games, didn't he? And he scored a goal.
David Platt for Forest was brilliant.
He did.
As a footballer,
You know,
when he was on the pitch, he's one of them guys where he just looks better than everybody else.
Well, he was a good footballer. That'll be why, isn't it?
Yeah, as a manager, no.
Play for Gooners.
I was excited when he came though, and he's got all these Italian guys.
The 3 Italians, man. Yeah, we gotta love that crap. Yeah. Oh, can we stop depressing ourselves? I think we've depressed the chat.
I can't remember 2 of them. Petracchi and Matricano. Who's the other one?
Who was the third name?
Petracchi and Matricano.
I can never remember them. You know, I always think I can remember them, and then I try to say them. I think no, I can't.
Chat, come on, chat, come through.
Let's see who's remember in the chat while I find someone to.
So who was it? Petracchi? Did you say?
Matricano, Manini, and Petracchi.
Manini was the other one. Yeah,
Petracchi's the only one that I have a vague memory of.
He was a very, very slow defender. Very slow.
He also bought in John Terry on loan when he was a youngster.
Yeah, that was No, he was one of those players.
I remember a game where
he looked better than anyone else on the pitch, even at 17 or whatever he was.
Does anyone else remember us going down to 10 men against Charlton? And we pulled it back in the 90th minute. And John Terry was basically in defence on his own for that game.
Yeah.
Wow, what a player. What a player.
And he was a kid, wasn't he? It was a kid, 17.
Even as a kid.
Yeah, he stood out. Massively.
All right, you got a couple of options. Do you want me to
Oxford? He was good as well.
I can send you lot to the Crystal Palace lot. Their mourning over their defeat. I can send you to.
Isn't there a Wolves one we can go to?
Well,
even
not live. I was
Can
looking
I ask a question? Do people feel additional satisfaction when West Ham lose now? Because I do.
I know, and we shouldn't, you know.
I only feel satisfaction when Man U and Spurs lose, to be honest.
It's a guilty pleasure.
Only because I want to try and get Jared Bowen off him because he's just a top-class player. But the rest of the team...
All right, if we were going to get him, we should have got him when he was at Hull, like I was saying all those years ago.
No bullshit. I was saying the same when he was at Hull.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to see
I said the same about Gyökeres at Coventry as well, by the way.
I don't want to see Nuno being happy somewhere else. There, I've said it out loud. I've said it out loud.
Any manager that leaves Forest, I wish him nothing but failure going forward.
Yeah.
I'm not even start to enjoy his pressers and his post-match interviews because I see him and I think, there's our manager. And I think, oh no, he's wearing a horrible West Ham coat. And then, and he's saying all the things he used to say. And I'm thinking, oh, right, I'm quite enjoying this.
I can't believe you're saying Andy.
I know.
Doing the whole gets the club thing, Michael. He was assistant under Cooper, wasn't he? Andy Reid was.
Yeah, he's been on the sidelines before. That's for sure.
All right, I'm going to send you over to Eagle Eyed Cherry.
So petty, though, isn't it, Rob?
Let them know.
I know it's petty, but I can't help it.
Okay, wait, hold on. Let me be petty.
Well at Tottenham.
Shut up. Let me be petty. What are you talking about? Let me be petty. I'm going to send you over to the eagle-eyed. Shit, I called them cherries. I keep.
Like cherries. I don't know why you've got on your brain.
I'm going to send you over to Rich and the boys. Type in the chat Europa.
Eagle-eyed cherries.
Or check your emails. Now go Europa.
No, eagle-eyed cherries.
Nah, that won't wind them up. Go. Type in Europa in there. Okay. I'm over on Potter's channel in 15 minutes for yet another cooking.
Oh,
So I will
bloody hell.
see you guys
The
there.
only good
as well.
thing is that only Arsenal won.
There's a tune.
That's the only
All
good
right.
thing
Thank you for
for us.
tuning in. Please do hit the like button.
Man,
Make sure you
you.
subscribed. Make sure you check out the
Honestly.
sponsors. And come on, you Reds.
You Reds.
Reds.